Good evening, everyone. My name is Rosa Valdez. I'd like to start out by thanking everyone for being here. Family, friends, teachers, and faculty. It is a great honor to be up here. I would like to especially thank my parents, who have always been my biggest supporters. When I thought I couldn't accomplish something, they were always there to tell me otherwise. I'd also like to thank my oldest sister, Alpha, for hearing me complain throughout these years, and then telling me to deal with it, because there's someone who is in a worse situation. And let me not forget about all the teachers I've had over the course of these 4 years. They have given me an unimaginable amount of knowledge. Before I actually wrote this speech, I sat down and stressed about what I was going to say. But then I realized I could say anything I wanted, and y'all would have to give me a big round of applause at the end. Granted, I didn't trip and fall coming up the stage. That would have been quite an entrance. But then as I was up late one night finishing a chapter for a class, of course I was, it came to me. Our high school career was like reading a book, and nothing like High School Musical. Freshman year was very much like the prologue. We came into Wood Creek knowing only a few people and felt overwhelmed by the swarm of new faces. We walked into a new world, one that quickly caught our attention. We just couldn't wait until we were the ones in pink. Sophomore year brought stability. We were no longer the new kids and had begun to find our place in this new world. For some, it meant meeting College Board for the first time and entering the AP world. One where you may never discuss any of the multiple choice or free response questions unless they are released in 2 to 3 days, which we all followed wholeheartedly. For others, it meant joining new clubs or sports. We felt as if we could accomplish anything. Then came junior year. Man, was that a plot twist. All those sleepless nights up finishing homework, and let's not forget the stress about taking the SAT, ACT, and that state test. It was during these moments that we began to question whether we'd be able to finish the story and have a happy ending. But as that chapter ended, a new one began, senior year. We had finally reached a year where it was our turn to wear pink. The year where people were applying to their dream schools or beginning the first steps to accomplishing whatever goals they had. A happy ending after all. However, as we reach the end of this story, I realize it definitely is not the end at all. As Mary O'Hara once wrote, I think everybody writes a story in their head that eventually becomes their life. But if you don't write it yourself, then someone else is going to write it for you. Therefore, this is a time for us, class 2018, to pick up our pencils, pens, or whatever you use to write with, and begin writing out that story we have within us. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2018.
Y'all ever try to give a speech with a cat toy hanging in front of your head? Friends, family, teachers, staff, turf, bleachers, chairs, and most importantly, fellow class of 2018. Good evening. My name is Anna Kamelquist, and I will be your host for the next 3-ish minutes. I paid a freshman to write this speech last night, so it should turn out really good. Okay, now, I'm sure you're expecting someone as sincere as me to deliver a happy, heartfelt speech about chasing your stars and reaching for your dreams. Or the other way, whatever you prefer. But let's be real, we all knew Neve Chen has that covered. If any of you know me, you know that often I come up with awful analogies that are far-fetched and a lot of the time completely unrelated from what I'm trying to describe. So I thought it would only be fitting to share one describing the place we spent the last 4 years of our lives. Here goes. High school is like a 4-course meal, except you get full after the first one. We all sit down at the table freshman year and begin browsing the menu. Of course, it's overwhelming, and most of us have no idea what we're doing with our lives. Well, it's still like that for a lot of us. So, to make it easier, they just hand us bread as appetizers and we cruise on by. Not too difficult, although most of us fill up on the bread. And then, they tell us we still have 3 more courses. Sophomore year rolls around and they serve us a plate of spaghetti. Manageable, pretty tasty, but of course we're still getting kind of full. Personally, I remember being stuffed with schoolwork, but luckily I had some good friends at my table to complain with or to just go hang out and take a break from all of it. Just when you think you can't eat anymore, junior year rolls around, and you've lost your fork. Now, this could mean something different for each person, but no matter what, eating just got like 10 times harder. Your mom makes you a decadent gazpacho filled with vegetables because apparently you're supposed to try everything, and you have to clean the plate. You're tempted to slide your plate to the dog under the table, but somehow, without a fork, you manage to complete course 3. Luckily, by the time senior year comes, the fork issue is irrelevant. They serve us cookies. The only thing keeping you going at this point is that second stomach for dessert, so you eat it. And in the end, somehow, you muster up enough energy to walk up across the stage. So here we are, forkless, and already in a food coma, but we're here. And for some reason, many of us have already signed up for a whole nother 4-course meal. And as stuffed as I am, though, I've actually stomached a lot of experience and basis for the rest of my life. Also, I do need to thank my parents for encouraging me to eat that gazpacho, allowing me to reach my full potential. As teenagers, we often forget to acknowledge our parents, teachers, friends, and even the dog under the table. Okay, this is getting too deep for me, so I need to wrap this up. That's all I got. Hope none of you were allergic to any of my speech. Congrats, class of 2018.